Happy New Year and welcome to another episode of The Loan Project and its segment The Leadership in Lending. This is a special episode. One, not only because I am recording this while quarantining, but second, we are talking to somebody who's very close friend of mine and comes from a industry and a background which is extremely pertinent to the entire aspect of lending. Lending, if you know, relies on data and insights which we take from the data. I always joke before data science knew data science, there were two category of people who knew about data science. One is the friendly neighborhood cop and the second the money lender. Because it is important for us who are in the business of lending to understand and appreciate data, this episode is important. We are talking to somebody who has been a banker for almost 18, 19 years, has been involved in banking and lending for that much amount of time. But more than that, he is right now part of a company which, according to me, has more insights about us than even maybe we don't know about. I am talking about Google. So the person with whom we'll be chatting today is Prasenjit, and he heads the practice for Google India's financial services. We will be talking about range of aspects in lending in terms of what are we searching. Is there a difference in terms of the whole Bharat versus India or metro, if there is a term like Bharat versus India, in terms of what is the kind of search driven insights which he's seeing. Is there something which he can talk about, the whole aspect of something new which they have found while they were doing this analysis? So without wasting any more time, let's straight away jump into our discussion. I would like to thank you for helping us spread the word. 2022 will be a watershed moment for us, where we will double down on our endeavor for building sound blocks in lending as a sector. Thank you for watching. So, welcome everybody. Today, as part of the loan project, we have Prasenjit. Prasenjit is a lending veteran. If in certain ways that word attaches to Prasenjit, because I mean, early 2000s, he has been involved in lending, and you will find very few folks who have done the entire circle, right from the brick and mortar to the digital, from a bank to an NBFC, now heading the practice for one of the biggest sites on the planet. That's Prasenjit for you. So we wish to learn a lot from our interactions with him. I know from a personal level as well, in terms of his knowledge depth. And I am sure that as we go along and you will see the discussion progressing, you will find that it's extremely interesting and extremely insightful. So thanks, Prasenjit, for joining us and being part of this journey where the loan project is trying to create basically two hubs of knowledge. One, we are trying to create a knowledgeable base of borrowers, and second, we are trying to create next gen lenders. So hopefully we'll able to juggle both carefully and not take much time of yours. So thank you for joining us.
No, absolutely. Thank you so much, Atul. It's great to be on the other side of the camera with an old friend. Very, very excited. We were talking about this in the morning itself, that the fact that lending is probably the one of the most under researched or under, from a education and awareness perspective. I love what you all are trying to do, and as Google, honestly, it's our responsibility to try and organize and make information accessible as much as possible. So happy to be here.
Thank you. So we will straight jump to the most important question. With, I think, anybody who joins in, what are we searching on lending in terms of
the whole aspect. I recently read a report, I think, with you guys came up with in terms of. What do you think is happening here? Is there a Bharat versus the metros happening, or the aspirations of the folks, the aspiration class, what we call, right? I think is searching for similar kind of stuff across the board.
Yeah. So, the what is India searching for on lending is an amazing question. I'll take a step back. I'll tell you that what we are definitely seeing is India is searching for do-it-yourself, right? That is coming out as a very, very, very large trend across categories, and BFSI is not being left behind. Unlike in the past, where we've seen that financial services has typically not kept pace with the kind of changing consumer mindsets. That's not been the case right now. Clearly, for example, I can give you terms like how to open a banking account online, right? Is there a virtual branch? How do I call my relationship manager online? These kind of terms, and obviously the proliferation and onto lending is absolutely huge. So that's the number one thing which I think has been true, which is do it yourself. With respect to what you said about lending trends specifically, yeah, we just recently put out a report with TransUnion, and lots of things covered. But interestingly, what you mentioned was one of the most interesting findings as far as I'm concerned, which was beyond urban India. We're not very sure whether it is a Bharat phenomena or because India is a country of so many segments. It's very difficult to put this down. Yeah, it is a country of many countries, as we say. So it's difficult to say that it's just a particular set, but definitely urban India is a story which has had its time. Now, clearly, what we saw interestingly, both from a demand perspective of consumers searching online, to it being fulfilled, when we looked at the TransUnion data, the kind of credit which is being given in customer to consumer segments outside of urban India is huge, right? And as far as you're concerned, Atul, you'll be happy to know that when we looked at the credit performance, and I know you love this the most, that a loan is only complete when the money comes back to the bankers. The credit performance for the bulk of the loans which are being given outside, specifically, are upwards of prime kind of scores. So very, very, very interesting credit behaviors. And the other thing which I can tell you, when we looked at 4-5 loan categories, we saw that the ticket size, surprisingly, one of the myths associated with lending outside India is that ticket sizes drop. That's not the case. Actually, the loan sizes across PL, home loans, auto, the loan sizes are pretty much similar to what you see in the big cities. And you and I can corroborate this when you talk about property price. And I was just recently talking to my friend who's looking at properties in Nasik. And he said, don't be under the impression that Nasik is any less fancy or cheaper than Gurgaon. So it's very interesting. But to your point, beyond urban India, huge. And the second thing is we've seen, and you know this better than I, that BNPL was a product which was in waiting for a long time.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
We've known that there has been an appetite. I mean, in the past, way back in your and my time in Standard Chartered, I remember we used to have an OD Smart OD product.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So 20 years back. So that product was always there. Now it's it's coming to light with the fintechs. But that's the other big trend we've seen is that snackable lending, as we call it, or bite-sized lending, bite-sized borrowing, as far as the consumer that is definitely in vogue. So those are, I would say, 2-3 things.
I think it busts a lot of myths if in the minds of some people, right? Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure if you are a lender worth any standing today's market, the Bharat or the non-metros as a market, you can never ignore, right? And I think it goes on. I think the report goes on to prove that as well, right? I mean, I think one point of which you brought, which I wanted to harp on as well, is the whole BNPL, right? Buy now, pay later is rage across the globe, right? From Australia, if you see the trends to the US. I think partly because a lot of people who do not have the access to the credit card can be brought into the fold by this product. But do you think we also have, since that means there are two categories of people coming in, right? One, somebody who's new to credit. Second,
Right.
he or she may not have the right financial literacy in this segment.
Yes.
So do you think that, and with the kind of data imprints which now every single borrowing is putting, right? Do you think it can be a double-edged sword as well in terms of the BNPL?
Yeah. So absolutely. So I am a big fan of anything which drives credit adoption, right? I think the economics of taking debt is not well understood.
Right.
But as always, economics cuts both ways.
Right.
As we as we said, I think in maybe my time, there was a
I'll
certain
interject. Your time is right now. Don't worry about it. I mean, don't
yeah,
make.
absolutely. No,
Let us.
I was thrown off the minute you said veteran. I was obviously thrown off because I said
Oh, okay,
veteran.
okay, 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 okay.
So I said I'm now going to refer to everything in the 80s.
Okay.
But in that time, I think we grew up in a setup where taking debt was seen as a bad thing, right?
True,
And
true.
now, on the other hand, I feel and I worry about the fact that taking debt has become so convenient, and that's the buzz of today's age, right? Everything is embedded,
Correct,
everything is
correct,
convenient, it's so
correct,
seamless, and I think that's
correct.
great, right? I mean, I'll be the first to say it's very exciting to see how the new players, the platforms, are doing such an amazing job of integrating everything. The only thing I worry, like you do, is that do the people taking the debt understand the implications of debt? I think we spoke about this, in the morning, where you and I were saying that, look, there is a certain debt servicing ratio.
Correct,
Whether that
correct.
should be 10% as it was in maybe our time, the answer is no, it should be higher, because economics today, and especially the
Correct.
cost of debt is so low today, that it's just more efficient to borrow money. But should that be 80%? No, it should not be, right? And the movement from 10 to 80 in the new era we are in is really dramatic. So that's what we've got to all of us as a system need to be very careful of, that we are driving this number upwards, but we're doing it in a responsible manner, because unlike any other product, lending is one of the only categories where you don't want to end up giving loans to everybody who's seeking loans.
Very
We
true.
as banks only and NBFCs only make money when the transaction gets completed. So collections is
Correct.
very important. Systemically, we as a country don't want to be in a place where there's a huge amount of bad debt, right? So it's responsible borrowing and responsible lending, both are really, really important.
And what is your thought process in terms of the recent pain which we've undergone? I mean, I know it's something which we did not. But do you think that if let's say, if I'll come back to the question, if today somebody comes and asks you, a Gen Z, I mean, I don't like to label them, because then I don't know what I'm Gen X or what, I don't know what that means. If somebody comes in, a 24-year-old guy, 24 or a girl comes in and asks, I'm going to be taking on this debt, what should they be looking out for before they jump in?
So the good news is, I don't know if it's by design or not, what we noticed again as part of the same research which we did, is that we are seeing the relations are starting small, but they're going deep, which means that the ticket sizes initially are actually smaller upfront. But over time, similar to what BNPL seeks to do, even in normal personal loans and cross-sell and upsell, the number of relationships which a borrower is making with the same institution is increasing, right?
Okay.
Because there's more comfort from the lending institution and so on and so forth. The minute you understand his payment, you want to give him a credit card, you want to sell insurance and so on and so forth. So our advice, and this is my personal opinion, it's not a Google POV, is that when you're looking at an institution, start small, but go deep. Think of consolidating relationships today, unless so which is why you invest more time. In fact, in another research we had done recently, we saw that the time taken by a borrower to evaluate multiple lenders has actually gone up a little bit. Surprisingly and probably counterintuitively, you'd imagine that the time taken to evaluate has gone down in light of the new enablers, but it's actually gone up a little bit. And I don't think that's a bad thing. Because I feel that the more we as borrowers invest time in understanding who is the lender and don't just jump on, who's giving me the loan, the better it is, right? Because you want to build a rich history, a credible history with the same institution. It is and the way partnerships work nowadays is we are slowly moving to a place where you believe that everybody will have access to a bouquet of products. It will be everything's going open. I don't want to use the word open banking, but it's definitely open in nature. So you will be able to, one platform will be able to, or one institution will be able to leverage other products, right? In that case, even more so, if the fungibility is so high, you want to go deep with your first point of contact or your first relationship. So the only advice is go small, think through the lender. As I said, one of the things which we found in the study was trust has actually jumped up, Atul, versus things like rate. Can you imagine the days when you and I were in the sales team and we'd ever go back to our managers saying that, borrowers are valuing trust in a category where we are actually giving them money. We used to always say, hey, the lowest interest rate wins, or the fastest disbursal time wins.
Correct.
Those are all now becoming hygiene. If you're not going to be disbursing the loan in a certain point in time, then you're not going to be on the table. The question is, how credible is your brand? How credible is your association with the customer? So these things have become really, really important in the new age. It's interesting how it all pans out.
Okay, I think another part which I wanted to take your take was the whole brick and mortar, digital versus phygital. What do you think? And considering that you have now this I'm asking you from Google plus the entire spawn of experience which you have put in for so many years. Where do you think the industry is moving in terms of? Are we experiencing, or maybe go some point of time go 100% digital, or it's going to be a hybrid? What is your take on this?
Yeah, no. So again, I'm biased by my 2 decades of experience pre-Google. My sense is in the category we're specifically talking about, which is financial services and lending, I find it unlikely that we will ever move away from a hybrid model. I think that yes, there are already many categories and many institutions which do end-to-end disbursals online, sanctioned disbursals online. But these are restricted to certain ticket sizes. In the housing loan category, or in larger PL, or in auto loans, or in SME loans, it's very important to continue to remember that a lot of India gets swayed by what's happening in the consumer side. But the real untapped, and if India is to grow, then the MSME growth is, and this is not the story for today. It's obviously exaggerated by COVID now, because even more so the need to support MSMEs. But loans like BIL and loan against property, these loans are not going to be unassisted, as we call it. You will need assistance as a consumer. You want to be able to take assistance. I do see a massive move towards D2C for sure. But to imagine that we go away, no, I don't think so. I think omni-channel integration, if you look at the other categories, Atul, and it's very interesting. We are seeing so many categories, be it e-commerce or insurance aggregators, wherein they started with a fully pure play digital model. And now you're seeing them, build what we call as moats, and there's that entire book written about moats being created. I think consumers will manufacturers will follow where consumers are.
Correct.
So if you're consumer, specifically in India, we still have some way to go before we can say that the internet or technology infrastructural issues have gone to a place where we don't need physical support. I don't think so. I think technology is definitely going to be a big driver, but a full-fledged replacement, not in the short term.
Yeah, I think I was having a conversation with Ganesh Vasudevan, who used to head India property. He told me that, his view was, because he comes from Standard Chartered Bank and personal loan background. So he was telling me maybe in low engagement products, we may see higher digital adaptation, but where the transaction value or the engagement is high, I think technology can be as an enabler if done right. Maybe it can empower power an RM to have much more information when he or she talks to a consumer than maybe a quick a BNPL or 5K loan. So I think I was telling in the morning, we are one of the few lucky generation, if I can say, that we are seeing transition happening in front of our eyes. I mean, and it'll be really interesting to see how the industry and the consumer start to utilize both these channels and maybe use them to the fullest. So
the good news is, neither you nor I are people who will get quoted 15 years from now saying that, hey, Atul Prakash and Prosenjit said that it will never go on fully online. And
that is true.
What idiots they were, because, look at what they said and look at the setup today. So it's, I mean, honestly, technology has changed everything. I mean, the way we used to think earlier. As I said, I am biased by my own background of being from a certain place and understanding. I do feel technology can certainly change things dramatically. So and it's not even 15 years from now. For all you know, in a couple of years from now, you and I'll be sitting and having coffee one day and saying that, hey, how wrong were we that day?
True.
But yes, I'd like to believe that omni-channel is going to be the way the world progresses. Yes. You're going to have technology playing a massive role in customer acquisition, in the journey post customer acquisition, but it will. I don't see it fully moving online, specifically in categories such as you said, high engagement products, complex products. Seems unlikely.
Okay, so we are now, I think, bang on time, and considering the fact that we are trying to keep it short and simple and really powerful, I think we achieved that today. Really appreciate your giving us your time, and I hope to meet and learn with you on many other occasions. One very interesting thing which I learned from one of the interactions which I had with the collection guys. He said when we are on the aeroplane, right? They always say, in the event of water landing, this is what we should do. How many times have you in your lifetime seen a plane landing on water? Correct. So I think it hit me, the analogy. It realized as lenders, I think we should, and it's our responsibility as well to, I think, teach or enlighten the consumers, ki boss, in the event you are facing a difficulty, these are the things which you should be doing. And I think because if we have to bring in the whole loyalty aspect, if you want to bring in, which is in any case is very flimsy today's market because of various choices which everybody has, I think we need to invest in those things as lenders.
Absolutely.
And once we do, I think we'll have, this is a market which is booming, which is young, and I'm pretty sure there is enough food on the table for everybody. So thank you.
I think, absolutely. Thank you, Atul. And to be fair, I think the ecosystem is making the effort. I mean, let's not take away from the fact that I think the ecosystem, people like yourselves, the banks, the NBFCs, there are so many people working on building out that space. So as long as we keep doing more of it, we should be in a good place. But thank you for having me here. We can keep talking. You and I are old friends.
Yes.
So
let's
keep the chat going. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching this video. If you're interested in the industry of lending or just trying to figure out various factors which play a role in the next zone of your life, would request you to hit like and subscribe to our channel. We would keep on coming up with content which is relevant to your needs and requirements pertaining to loans. Thank you. See you soon.